Oh, well, here we are. Time to come and write. I don't know if anyone's out there or if it's just going to be me talking to myself. But the good thing about it is I won't be talking to myself for long because I'll be writing. If you hear barking in the background, just ignore it. My little dog thinks that there is a monster outside and he is thinking that he's going to protect me. I don't know how, but yeah, he seems to think he will. I'm just going to let the Facebook and the other social medias know that we're live now. And then I think I'm going to get started. If there is someone out there, just send a message in the chat or something like that. And I'll wait about 2-3 minutes before getting into things. So if you're out there waiting and you've got your craft or your drawing or your knitting or whatever it is, get it out, get comfy. It's 10:45 at night here in Australia, but I thought it would be a good time to try my night, US morning, and see how that is for people and if anyone turns up. And then if not, then I can put it around the other way and see how that goes. So I'm going to let everyone know we've started, and then if anyone turns up, they turn up. Otherwise, I'm just going to write by myself. And if you think I'm going to not talk, you've got another think coming, because I will genuinely talk to myself or to my dog. Tochi? All right, I'm body doubling with myself at the moment. So anyway, if anyone comes along, if you hear this, pop a message in the chat. Or if you're watching on the replay, I was going to just not do replay on these because it seemed like I would just be sitting here writing and generally making faces at the camera without realizing it. But also, I feel like that could be slightly useful for people who need some body doubling as well. And goodness knows I need some body doubling at the moment because my writing time has not been the easiest to get anything out of at the moment. So, yeah. So even if I'm just body doubling myself, I think that's going to be fine. And replay can catch it later until we figure out a good time for everyone to meet up and be able to do their arts and crafts. So I've been trying to get some decent words on Splintered World, which is the last book in the Shattered World series. And last week and the week before, I had not been able to get, well, pretty much nothing done. And that had been very, very frustrating for me. And I managed to have a talk about it with a friend, and that has broken open some important bits and pieces about the story, which is very, very handy. Especially because that doesn't usually work for me. I don't usually talk about my WIP because it just is not comfortable for me and doesn't usually work out for me. But this time it did, and so I've got a whole page of notes which I will show very, very quickly because spoilers, sweetie. And yeah, so basically I've got to get it from this form to on the page, which is fine. It's going fine. But today's the first day of the new week. It's Monday, and Mondays can be weird getting started. So I'm probably going to start in 20-minute sessions. Normally I would be doing this with music, but I'm honestly not sure what YouTube allows in the way of music when you're streaming something. So I thought it's probably safer not to do it, which means you are lucky enough to get the sound of me tapping on my keyboard, and hopefully the rest of you guys don't have misophonia like I have. But yeah, hopefully. Anyway, as I'm writing, oh, hello, we got someone here. That's nice. I will honestly just keep talking to myself. I am very happy to do that. Lynette? It says Lynn. I think it's to Lynette. Hello. Hi. She says, you're my favorite writer. Thank you. I'm glad you showed up because honestly, I'm just talking to myself here at the moment. I'm going to hopefully get started into some sprints very, very shortly. But I wanted to say that a lot of my thoughts at the moment are on MacGuffins. And I'm not sure if you guys all know what MacGuffins are, or MacGuffins, I guess. But they're a type of thing or needed item in the story that is just sort of very handy for the plot, but not necessarily for anything else. So it's a plot device, and depending on how badly or how well you do it, its MacGuffin level increases or decreases. And I've got one that's my least favorite in the world so far that I've found, and I will talk about that later in between a sprint. And my friends do not agree with me on this one, but that's okay. I'm going to let them be wrong. If you hear in the background the little woof, woof, that's my little dog. He thinks there's a monster out there and he's trying to protect me. So, yeah. Anyway, if you guys are about to write, like if you've got your writing, your crafting, your knitting, whatever it may be, get it out because I am about to start into our first sprint and we'll go till about, yeah, let's call it quarter past. We'll go to about quarter past and then we'll have another chat and see where everyone is at the moment. And hopefully I can do this without ruining my window for YouTube, because I was supposed to try and get this so that I could do it on my phone, but that did not work out, mostly because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to tech. I think I need a Marisol. Oh, yes, you got ice cream? I've got a cup of tea. It's not very exciting. I do have gummy worms, sour gummy worms, but I probably shouldn't be having as many of those. So, yeah. I do have my makeup on, though. I don't usually. I remembered today that I've got a little green eyeshadow palette that I have never used before. And so I thought, yeah, I'm going to try and use that because why not? Why not? You guys are worth it. It's not like I do this any other time. But it meant that I got to wear it out to dance practice as well. So I got, 2 for 1. Yeah, Lynette, if you want to ask some questions about the writing, pop them in the chat now. And what we might do is, start popping them in the chat now. And we'll do about 5 minutes of answering those. And if you think of any while I'm having my sprint or while you're doing your thing, just pop them in the chat and I will answer those in between sprints. I think that'll work out really well because although I want to speak about MacGuffins shortly and, about that is not a whole lot of stuff. It's just me being a little bit caught up with the MacGuffins specifically at the moment, and the reason why I will explain later. But I'm going to get my Word document up here ready to go while I wait for questions to come in. There we go. I can't see myself anymore, but that's not a bad thing. I always get a little bit distracted by myself in the viewfinder. It's just slightly off-putting. I don't know about you guys if you're writers, but this is the first time that I am doing Like, usually when I do romances, the romance ends at the end of the book, and I don't continue writing about the relationship after that unless it's just something that appears in another book as that couple comes into another book. But in this case, I've made a specific effort to keep the romance not just happening and started in one book, but to keep it going for at least a full book so that I can have a progression of that relationship. And it's been very good for me as a writer, but it's also extra craft to have to remember to do and learn about. Okay, so Lynette is saying it isn't a question so much as an idea that she wants to make an Athelstan Lord's Hero animatic. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'm guessing from the root words that it's some sort of motion representation following the last part of the horse and the infant from Epic. And I think I don't know what that is either, but that's probably because I'm very out of touch at the moment. But her question is, what's my favorite book from the entire City Between universe, including spin offs? Oh, that's really, really hard because I enjoy, like, I love the City Between series, the original one, for so many reasons. And a lot of those reasons, honestly, are pet. But I really love the progression of her character and her unfolding from a closed-in young girl to a blossoming woman. I really enjoyed being able to do that, and I really enjoyed being able to explore and represent and try to help heal various types of trauma. So for that reason, I really love that one, but I also really, really love the Worlds Behind series. I really loved getting into Athelas's head a bit more, and Camellia was just a joy to write. And Yol will always be a favorite part of me as well. So, and then even with the Splintered World books, um, I've put so much of myself into those as well that it's hard not to say that it's one of those that's my favorite. But maybe if I'm going with the maybe just pick one per series, I really love book 3 in the Between series, and perhaps for the Worlds Behind series, it would be Behind the Curtain. I really, really loved that, especially writing it, but also just as I read it again. And for the Shattered World series, maybe possibly the most recent one, the Splintered Loyalty. But I really love so much about the first book as well. And of course, I haven't finished the final book. So, and Lynn says that she loves Between Decisions. Yeah, that one's a favorite as well. I know a lot of people have that one as their favorite. All right, I'm going to start getting to work because obviously I want to get words written, and I won't be that good of a body double if I don't manage to actually do some work. So, whoever's out there, whether it's just Lynette or anyone else, we're getting ready to start now and go. If the ticking of my keyboard annoys you, just turn off your sound maybe until it is 20 past. All right, I think that's 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Normally, I have something to go off, but I thought that my phone going off at this time of night would be a little bit too startling for comfort. So I've just been keeping an eye on the time. Dog is still woofing. Hello, we've got someone else as well. I always have trouble with your name. I'm sorry. I'm never sure if it's Noose or Noose, or even neither. If you've got any pronunciation tips for me, please let me know. I'm pretty sure you've told me once and I've just forgotten. Sorry. Lynn says that she forgot to explain what the terms are. That animatic is like animation, but with partial movement, so like a storyboard. Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about now. I like those. Those are a really cool art form. I really like looking at those. Yeah, we're doing a live recording. It's more of a write with me or knit with me or whatever your craft of choice is if you're not a writer, because I need to body double with somebody, and I figured some of you guys probably need a hand with body doubling sometimes too to get stuff done. So yeah, I figured even if I was only talking to myself that it would be fine. So it would be nice, E like elephant, Ness, Ness, Neus. Wow, we're really having fun butchering things tonight. Neus, okay, Neus. I should remember that this time, I think. That's a really nice name. Does it have like a specific meaning? I'm always interested in names with meanings. Maybe because that's how I used to pick them for books. Anyway, we were talking about MacGuffins earlier. And the reason that I've been thinking a lot about MacGuffins at the moment is because technically in this book there is something that you could call a MacGuffin. Oh, it means snow. Oh, that again, that's a really pretty name with a really pretty meaning. Oh, lovely. Naeus. Naeus. I like that. Yes, so we're talking about MacGuffins, and the reason that it's in my head a lot is because, yes, there in Splintered World, there's going to be something similar to a MacGuffin, and it took ages for me to be. I was having trouble trying to figure out what exactly is it supposed to be, because I know where it is, and I know who put it there, and I know in general what sort of thing it is, but I haven't been able to decide what physical form that will take. And I've got some ideas now thanks to discussing it with my friend, and I think I'll be able to work that out. But as I was discussing it with them, I realized that that wasn't the thing that was stopping me from writing. It was because I had not um, gotten enough of the rest of the plot in my head connected with that. And so once all of that fell into place, and once I wrote down like the first 6 chapters worth of just really quick ideas and this is what's going to happen, then I began to be able to write again. So I've just gotten, what is it? 600 words done in the 20 minutes, which is really nice considering how slow I've been writing apart from this week and last week. Anyway, yes, MacGuffins. I told you I was going to talk about my least favorite MacGuffin. And again, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I will explain why. So in A Quiet Place, the MacGuffin is both a thing and a person, which is why it makes me really cranky. So if you haven't watched A Quiet Place, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil a bit of it. But in my defense, the movie expects you to be so appallingly stupid that if you hadn't already thought of this, I don't know what else you would have thought that the answer to it would be. Basically, there are aliens, it's a alien not infiltration, they come alien attack story. These aliens come to Earth and they have really strong hearing, right? Like really uh, sensitive hearing. And they come and they're attacking everyone and killing everyone, and basically humanity's going into hiding to survive, and you have to be really quiet or they'll hear you. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear something like that, like alien with really sensitive hearing, my first thought is, oh, right, so they have already tried everything possible to blast the eardrums out of these aliens, because that is literally the first thing that you would do to something that is sensitive of hearing that is killing you. You would use sound as a weapon. Apparently, that had not occurred to anybody, literally anybody in the entire world. And I know they've made a new movie now, and honestly, I would really respect it if somebody had heard either my or someone else's annoying muttering and had made an entire plot point out of sheer spite to answer this plot hole. But I'm sorry, it's one of the worst plot holes I've ever seen in a horror slash sci-fi movie. It irritated me so much. Anyway, the MacGuffin is both a thing and a person. They have a deaf girl in there, right? And her hearing aid is technically the MacGuffin, but she functions as a MacGuffin. And this is what makes me so cranky about this one. Um, if there hadn't been such a huge plot hole in this way, and if it hadn't come out in the course of the movie, oh, weird things happen with her hearing aid, and when that happens, it upsets the creatures, and oh, we can beat them with noise. If it hadn't have been for that stupidity, I don't think it would have been a MacGuffin, because then she would have had full dignity as a person, and her hearing aid would still possibly have been able to be useful in a slightly different way. But because of the plot stupidity, it turned a whole person who they had until now, like, really well done as a proper person, but they turned her into the equivalent of a MacGuffin. And that really upset me, because until then they had handled that with really great sensitivity. They'd done a lot of really good things around her arc and her character. But because of the stupidity of the plot holes, it just turned an entire huge character into a MacGuffin. So I don't know about you guys, if you have like a top 10 worst MacGuffins. It's possibly just a writer thing, but this is my absolute top. This is the worst one I've ever seen, and it is because the rest of the movie was genuinely, in a lot of the thematics, beautiful. There were things I didn't like about it, but that's because that's the kind of person I am. But the plot hole things, that was just that's I feel like another level entirely. So yeah, it did feel like a plot hole. It felt like a really huge one. And my dad is not a science fiction person. I said to him, if you had this situation and they were this kind of alien, what's the first thing you would do to try and fight them? And he's not a science fiction person. He's not a movie person. He's not a story person at all. And he said straight away, you'd try to beat him with sound. I'm sorry if even my father, who doesn't watch movies, is saying that this is a plot hole so large you could drive a bus through it. And I am in a bus. This is where I live. I don't feel that I should feel like I can drive my entire house through the plot holes in your story. Anyway, that was something that really annoyed me. But I've been thinking about it a lot, because obviously I have something that technically qualifies as a MacGuffin in this story. And it only technically qualifies as a MacGuffin because it's the type of thing that is normally a MacGuffin. It won't. Okay. Technically, it won't be used as this in the book, but because of the way I'm using it, it turns it into a MacGuffin as well. And that doesn't make sense now. I'm sorry, but when you read the book, it will make sense. This is just me chuntering. I'm doing too much talking, and we're nearly about ready to go into another sprint, I think. But before that, if anyone's watching on the replay, I keep on forgetting to say on social media, there's only 5 days until the general release of Splintered Loyalty comes out. So if you weren't in the Kickstarter, that's 5 days away. That's coming up quick. And also the Splintered Path audiobook is out now. I also keep forgetting to do more about announcing that. So yeah, you're let to know, well, brain is not working anymore. This is me letting you guys know that's out. Both of those are out there now. And so, Ness, what are you working on at the moment? Do you have a project you're working on, a book or a knitting project or crafting? What are we doing tonight? No, it's perhaps morning for you. I'm never quite sure. Mm. Yeah, sometimes the characters find some weapon or artifact and you haven't heard anything in the book previously. Yeah, it's that sort of thing, and then it's like the answer to the entire book and the entire plot line. So yeah, so in a lot of ways, mine is functioning as and also not functioning as a MacGuffin, and I find that very, very fun. Right, I'm getting ready. Oh, I've still got a little bit. How far did you guys get on your projects also, by the way? Because I feel like I did all right in 20 minutes to get 600 words. Again, it's been very slow going for me the last 2 weeks, apart from Friday, just getting things to where I felt that I could actually get some decent writing done. But the words are coming more easily again now. So I seem to have a hold on the story again, which is really nice. Afternoon. Ah, fair enough. The times are really, really hard to get a hold on. I remember Canada these days, and I remember most like the US range, but everything else. Oh, and I remember Korea as well because I've got friends there that I talk to. So yeah, that's and Japan obviously, but it's not very far away from Korea, so it's pretty easy to know what's working there and how and to talk to everyone there. Oh, 3:30. 3:30 is always a good time. That's when we've got the last at the moment because it's winter here. 3:30 is when we're getting the last bits of golden hour or the mid bits of golden hour, and it gets really, really pretty around here then. I like that. I'll like it even more when I have finally saved up and gotten a new lens for my camera, which broke earlier. So I've been, yeah, still using it, but with the other lens that is nowhere near as good. And it's been a little bit sad for me. All right, in a couple minutes, we're going to start on a new 20-minute sprint. And ignore all the noise in the background. My little dog's decided he's going to drink as loudly as he possibly can drink. He's obviously adding his 2 cents to the recording. Alrighty, let's get started on another 20 minutes and then we'll cut this one short at 5 minutes to the hour. And that should give us a good time to get a little bit of work done. quick hello to Eiffel Flower. Love that screen name. Ah, you're in for the general release of Splintered Loyalty then, eh? 5 days to go till it comes out. And then only one more after that. We're in the middle of a sprint at the moment. We've got about a little bit over 10 minutes more of it to go. So I'm going to keep going, and everybody else who's here in the middle of their sprint, just ignore me talking. All right, that's our second 20 minutes sprint done, and it looks like I got another round about 500, so we're doing quite well tonight. Must be you guys being here to help me keep working. Oh, we've got Laura in the chat now too. Hello, Laura. Looking forward to number 6. Not that you mean to be impatient, just you and Howard 5 at the first opportunity. Thank you. I'm very glad to hear that. I really enjoyed number 5. It was a little bit weird trying to get it written for a little while, and then when it broke open, it just completely broke open, and I was able to get things done completely, and that was a real relief. And I was very happy about how it came out in the wash, so to speak. Yeah, I'm looking forward also to getting number 6 out and about because I want to finish the series, because I want it to be complete, but also because I have some very fun and exciting books to write after this as well. But also, just because, excuse me yawning, it's quite late here, and I did dancing today as well, so my body is a little bit unhappy at me. It's also like first or second day of my period, so I'm bleeding from my uterus, but I'm also bleeding from my nose, which is why I have my tissue nearby just in case that starts coming out again. Yeah, so my body is very unhappy. It wants me to go to bed, but also at the same hand, I really would like to get some writing done. So yeah, you guys have kept me on the straight and narrow. Yes, there are more future books coming. At the moment, I'm going to put the Between World on halt. It's only a temporary hiatus, because I've got the Magic Mountain Quartet I want to write, which starts with how to maintain your magic mountain, and I've already written half of the first book in like little drips and drabs here and there, because it's just been that much fun. Once I got the idea, it was really hard to not write it. So yeah, once this series is done, the City Between just will wait for a little while, and then after this one and a few other standalones, like connected standalones that I want to write, I think I'll be back writing in the City Between world to bring back Detective Tuatu and also the people from the manor, because I still have, I have some really fun ideas for a sort of a medical drama type thing set in the City Between world, where we've got people from the first series coming in to join up with people from the third series, so that we can have some fun diseases and mysteries in there as well. Plus, it means I get to bring back North, the North Wind. I really enjoy writing her and her with Tuatu, especially. They're really fun to write together. So I'll be doing that. Eiffel Flower says, just finished Between Family 2 days ago. Between Decisions was absolutely insane. Yes, that one was, I think fun is the wrong word to use to say that it was fun to write, but it was immensely satisfying and liberating, I guess, to write. I really enjoyed writing that one. So I'm glad that it's hit well for you guys. I really enjoyed doing that entire series. I was going to say let's do another sprint, but I've got a feeling that I'm not going to be much good for writing for very much longer. You guys who are in the chat, do you have any preferences for times? Like, was this a good time, or would, like, 10 hours later wouldn't be much good if you're 3 o'clock now, but also I can do slightly later at the night if some people are better in the mornings, like US mornings. So I don't mind switching them up. Like, if I do ones that are my later night, then they'd be just a slight touch shorter. And then if I do them in my morning, then they'll be like slightly closer to 2 hours instead of closer to an hour and a half, that sort of thing. But if this is a good time for enough people, I'm seeing a few people saying this is a good time, then that's really handy to know, because I would like to be able to pick times that are good for other people. There will be another one of these, I believe, on, it'll be my Saturday, like this Saturday for me in my morning, and so it would be like US Friday night, I believe, which may not be the best time, depending on if people are going out. I always forget that people go out because I don't go out very often these days. I never went out very often. But yeah, I think there will be one this weekend between the 24th and the 25th, depending on where you are in the world. It's nice to know that this is not too bad of a time for Spain as well. So I will just have to look at trying to match up some times that'll match for enough people. Right, I'm very, very shortly going to end the stream. So if you guys have anything else you wanted to say, or any suggestions or any questions, I can have a look at those before I go. Eiffelflower says, I don't go out either, only to my job. I really get that. It's not that I don't want to go out. I do want to go to like the movies. I want to go to the movies. There's a Twilight market I've been trying to get to for the last few years, but with like 3 different chronic illnesses and a little dog, I just don't get out as often. I have some in real life friends that I catch up with. In fact, I'll be catching up with one tomorrow, and I'll be helping her body double while she helps me body double, because she needs to get some housework done and I need to get some writing done. So we'll be combining that together, and that will be a lot of fun. Plus there's snacks. So yeah, you can't really lose there. All right, well, for everybody who's on their way home, I hope you get there safely and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to be going and sleeping very, very shortly. And for everyone else who's just starting their day, have fun. I hope this was a good start to the day, and we'll see how we go as to when we have further ones. Oh, Eiffelflower says, do want to tell you I really love Viv and Luca together. I really relate to Viv. I'm so glad. Viv has been really, really fun to write. And it's been also, yeah, kind of fun to be able to give her some of the things that I've got and have her deal with them in a fantasy setting. I feel like chronic illness and chronic pain are a thing that's in books more often these days, but I still really like that I get to do it as well. All right, guys, I'm headed off now to go to sleep, or maybe just have another cup of tea, who knows. Wipe the makeup off my eyes and hopefully not forget it. Yes, the sciatica. Yeah, Eiffelflower says got sciatica too. Yes, it's such a fun thing, isn't it? Makes me feel so old, and I'm not quite 40 yet. All right, see you later. I'll catch you guys next time in a stream, hopefully. Have a good one.